You're listening to the Scars and Guitars podcast series that syndicates for the A-List Online. My name's Andrew Mackay-Smith, and the interview subjects that I've got coming up for you. Corey Fisher and Clark Scales from Perth's rather excellent Sunday Sundown. Now, the reason for the chat with the lads is to promote the very good new EP from them for 2020, and what's it called? We Are Home. So here they are, Corey Fisher and Clark Scales from Sunday Sundown. Sounds like we've got a connection, brother. How you going?
How you going, man?
Good, mate. Yeah, we've had a few issues. I've done a block of... You're my sixth and final interview. I must say, here you go. Two of you.
Hey,
there
man.
You go. Nice. Salute. Good. Yeah, you're my last interview, so I'm going to enjoy this. Like you, mate, I'm going to enjoy my Jack Daniels.
Cheers.
Cheers indeed. Yeah. I'm really glad Lee organised you guys for last because I got to say I do enjoy. You've seen my micro review. Somebody from the band liked it on Instagram.
Yeah, I saw that. That was sick.
Yeah. I like what you guys do a lot, but then I'm a little bit biased because through Firestarter, I firmly believe that Perth is the music capital of Australia from about 2015 onwards. So I don't know, just about every single, and I'm not just saying this because I'm talking to a band from Perth, but just about every band or artist that I've talked to from your great city has had something that I've truly enjoyed and admired. And that's, believe me, I get tens. I don't know how many I get a week, maybe 20, 30 promos a week or thereabouts. But when it comes from Perth, I always make a point of taking a listen. And that's easy because when it comes from Firestarter, I listen anyway because there's typically an opportunity to have a chat. But look, I'm a fan. You can tell your music is irreverent. It's bold and it sounds like it'd be great to put on as background music to the next session, whether it be, a bit of a billy, bit of a beer, whatever it might be with some of your mates.
Bit of love making, so to speak. Yeah, a bit
of love making right there. Add that in as well. But you guys have got to be happy with how your EP here, We Are Home, has turned out.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, no, we're pretty stoked on it,
Yeah.
We kind of rushed it a little bit, to be honest, to get out there, but no, we're pretty happy with it, man. We like how it sounds. It's trying to find a sound and shit like that, and I guess we don't really know what that is just yet. I think we're just trying to figure it out as we go along, and hope people enjoy listening to it.
Yeah, look, what I mentioned in the micro review, so obviously this is going to be part of my podcast series. So what I said is that you guys create wasted cruisy vibes that go perfect with a nail or two on a weekend, and you got the right blend. And This is crucial. This is crucial here. Lo-fi guitars strumming underneath a deceptively upright vocal, supported by a classy rhythm section. So I'm a musician too, so that's how I listen to music as a musician. That gives and you as the musicians, you give the cuts just enough rock and roll oomph for it to sound like as though it's got balls, but it's still laid back. And you're one of the first bands that I've actually ever heard that can achieve that. So do you realise that's what you're doing, or is that something that you've actually got, is that intended?
No, not really, man. Like it's, we all sort of play a role and bring something different to the table together. So like the end product's always different to what we think it might start off out as. Like we just want to play music that we enjoy, I think.
Yeah. Pretty much, I was going to say that.
And we all,
much just whatever we think sounds good or works well, we just kind of think, fuck it, let's do it, and then hope people will enjoy it because we enjoy it.
Yeah, it's. I love getting. I spend a lot of time on the Sunshine Coast, so if you guys probably know where that is, so you've probably heard of it at the very least. But your music is perfect for there. Beaches, bars on the beach, walking from one beach to another beach. This sort of thing, and then going to Ocean Street, which is a strip of nightclubs that we've got there at Maroochydore, and just hanging out. You guys are perfect for that. You actually sound like you come from the Sunshine Coast. That's the vibe. It's sun-kissed, but it's got that grit to it, that urban grit to it that I think music like yours needs to have. So who inspired you to play, or who inspired you guys collectively, if you like, if not individually, but collectively, because you've got a great sound?
I don't think we have a collective inspiration. I think we all just really utilise our individual inspirations because I think we all are inspired by completely different artists, whether it's guitar or vocals or just the whole outcome of the song. I guess I think we just don't want to sound like, we don't want to be like, oh, they sound like this band, or we kind of want to try and
Do our
create
own
something
shit.
new and
Yeah.
create its own sound, I guess. But it's because it's got so many different
I think we have a lot of
influences.
different influences. We all like hip hop, indie rock, fucking jazz, blues, whatever. So we kind of just incorporate it or try to into the songs that we make, depending on what we want it to sound like. So I don't think it really has a specific genre, and like the new songs that we're making as well don't really have a specific genre in mind. It's just kind of
just want to have
whatever
that
we
medium
Yeah.
between happy and sad, you know, just that perfect little middle section, you know, because you don't want to be too emo or too poppy. So just
Well,
being a sad
you've
song
struck
with a
that
nice-
balance, though. I mean, the thing is, you've actually struck that balance, and many try, but they don't get there. So, I've had this block of 6 interviews at the moment. So I've only asked this question once before because of how cohesive Pepperhead sounded. They're another band that are distributed by Firestarter, but you guys have that cohesion as well. So I take it you guys are really good mates, you know, collectively.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like us, yeah.
Yeah, we're all good mates.
Yeah. So who writes the music insofar as does it start on an acoustic guitar? Is it then say uploaded into the cloud because it's been recorded via Premiere Pro or whatever it might have been, whatever the interface has been, has got, guys, I've got this new idea here. What I'd like you to do is just do your thing and let's turn up a rehearsal and see how it sounds. Is that how it works or is it different?
Songwriting for us has been an ongoing experiment, but like we're trying to figure out the best ways for us to do that together. But like with the EP, it'll start with a riff. It might start with a bass line, and then, you know, I might start writing to it, or one of the boys might have written something, and it's just once the idea's there, then it's just the work on top of it. That's when we all sort of really work together to, you know, you got a skeleton and just try to fill in the gaps and turn it into something.
So you just trust each other to come up with the goods at the time when you're actually putting songs together.
Yeah, man, it's an even input, you know. Like
we have a, like Corey said, a skeleton idea of what we want to do. We go to our producer's studio, and then we kind of just go from there and just pretty much just do different takes and different feels for the song. We'll change from like funk to heavy rock to whatever, and then we just find it to the point where everyone agrees on, that's what we think it should sound like, and then that's pretty much what we go with.
So who did you turn to then to capture your sound? Because the other thing too is, it's one thing to be cohesive in a rehearsal room, but it's something else completely different to capture that on an EP or an album, which you guys have managed to do. So who did you guys do that yourselves, or can you tell me who you worked with?
So Dylan Kiernan, who produces his label Soak Sounds. Soak Sounds, we started recording with him, and he plays a massive role because, you know, we'd go and stay with him for a whole like weekend at a time and just stay out in the Pinjarra, like, which is in the hills, nothing around, and we'd just stay at this fucking ranch and like cook dinner and sleep and hang out and just be out in the wilderness, like a cliche rock and roll story, and just
awesome
fucking just sit there and just be like, just there's nothing else to distract you. So like he plays a massive role in, like, you know,
I feel
what's
like
going to work, how to blend it all together.
I feel like a few too many beers help as well. I feel like we always get really pissed when we record, and then we wake up in the morning and listen to it and we go, oh, this sounds pretty cool.
Or it sounds really shit.
Or it sounds really shit, yeah.
Yeah, I find that I've mentioned that I'm a musician as well, and I found that it was either heads or tails on that call there. Because it always sounds good at the time, but then you wake up the next morning or you get it sent to you or whatever happens, and you go, oh, shit. You know, but, I mean, I think there's something intangible to the way you guys are crafting music that might not be obvious to you guys, but I can certainly hear it. There's that irreverence of youth, okay? So you sound exciting. And a lot of bands sound bored. They sound like, listen to Aerosmith, for example, their last 3 or 4 records, they're shit, excuse my language. Because they're old fellas, okay? They're old fellas that have got record contracts and they've got an obligation to do it. You guys want to create music. You guys want to craft music. And you're also probably interested in a whole bunch of things that are going on in the world as well. So is there anything else outside of music that influences the way, you know, is it in terms of, are you into sports or, you know, anything in the media in general that inspires the music?
I think it's just all of our drive and passion towards the music, man. Like we all really want to do this, just as bad as each other. So
I feel like the surroundings that we're in as well. We've got like a big friend group, and we love them all a lot. And I know we get a bit wild on the weekends, and that's kind of like what we write about a little bit as well. Like you said, like Gold Coast, Sunshine Coast, or whatever. We on Perth now, it's pretty much like
we're in our 20s, man. We're stuck in the loop, you know, constantly feeling sad for yourself, and then feeling happy and telling everyone your life story. It's just this ongoing cycle. But music's kind of what is our way to express that. Yeah, our little outlet. Otherwise, we'd just be doing the same shit. But it's cool if we can sing about it, I suppose.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, well, you're capturing it. There's no doubt about that. But what about how did the formation of the group? How did you guys meet?
You want to tell that little love story, eh?
Yeah, it's pretty funny actually. So I didn't know Corey until about 2 years ago. I went traveling around Europe, backpacking, and I got to Croatia, and I got on this boat and met Corey on there. Probably about a couple of months later, we're in a dirty London flat.
Yeah, like a shitty little house party, and we were eating heaps of fairy bread out the back and getting all amped up on the sugar. And I just, I said that I wanted to sing, and you said you play guitar. And anyway, I ended up moving to Perth, and nothing like we used to jam, and I don't know. I got introduced to Andre through all our friends, and then we sort of teamed up with Andre, and then Jacko came along, and then it just kind of
Where are you from, Corey? Then, if you said you moved out to Perth, are you from out east? Are you?
I'm from Sydney. Yeah, I grew up in the Blue Mountains.
Mate, you are no shit. You are the third person tonight out of all. I mean, God, how many interviews? 6 interviews I've done. You are the third person I've spoken to from the Blue Mountains. There you go.
Who else have you spoken to?
I've spoken to Gavin Bowles, who was just before you guys, and CJ Stranger. So CJ is Cam. I can't remember his surname now, to be honest with you. But all on Firestarter, all distributed by Firestarter, mate. And
wow.
I actually got the bio mixed up between CJ Stranger and Gavin Bowles, because how many musicians are there from the Blue Mountains that I've spoken to? Until tonight, none. Yeah. There's 3 tonight. 3 tonight.
Hello.
You know, so I got the bio mixed up, because I was thinking, you know, I tend to remember bands from where they're from because I talk to people from all over the world. And to speak to 3 people from the Blue Mountains is incredible. But, mate, you must be enjoying the relative warmth and Mediterranean climate of Perth compared to bloody the freezing cold of the Blue Mountains.
Oh, it's bloody home, you know. I think I found where I had to be.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
No.
Yeah.
He sleeps in my bed most nights, so...
Yeah.
There you go, you know, so... But lads, the future, I mean, COVID thing aside, we're going to get out of this sometime soon, but you are a band that I truly feel needs to have decent representation internationally, i.e. abroad, and get your music heard by as many people as possible, because what you are doing is genuinely unique. You should truly be playing on, what's that, Coachella and those Pitchfork festivals, you know, Pitchfork, that hipster website and that publishers from the States. You guys would go down a treat there. So what are you doing to spread the word on at that level? Because I think you're a bit, musically speaking, you're definitely beyond the sort of indie level. You're definitely at that level where you could support the Strokes or the Killers or somebody like that and actually pull it off.
Yeah, well, that would be
fucking...
Tell you what, mate, I wouldn't say no, that's for sure.
But have you got management, or who's helping you?
No,
we don't have any management. No, not at the moment. We were going to do our EP launch on, what was it, 20th of March, I think?
21st of March, man.
21st of March, and then that was the couple of days before it got shut down, the COVID stuff. So, it couldn't end up doing that. But, no, we don't have management. We're just doing it all ourselves at the moment, just trying to get out there and connect through social media like Instagram and stuff like that. And
we were just, we were excited to play more shows. We were sort of, we had a lot of local shows that were sort of up and coming, because we were just stoked to be playing locally. But I think it's hard to. We also want to write a lot of more music. But it's you got to you got to take it as it comes. You know, you're either recording your ass off, or you're playing shows and rehearsing. But we ultimately just want to stay active, man. Keep writing while this is all still happening. We're gonna continue to write and just fucking release as much stuff as we can and have more stuff to play live. But yeah, as far as management goes, like, yeah, it might have been something we were looking into if all the restrictions weren't like put in place, but it's just been super dead.
Yeah, because we were on about, there was someone that Corey knows over in Sydney that we're going to hopefully try and get a couple of gigs over in Sydney and Melbourne on the way back if we could tour. But
I think that'd be a realistic approach, is maybe trying to do like an Australian tour and just organise it ourselves, I suppose. I mean,
do that. Yeah, for you guys, look at regional areas, because the cities are odd, you know that. Like, but there's regional areas. I've already mentioned the Sunshine Coast, the Gold Coast. Yeah. To me, that's you guys. You guys are the soundtrack to regional Australia in a lot of ways. And I know you come from, you're from Blue Mountains and Perth, but you've got that. But you got that vibe going on, and there's this circuit here. And I was only talking to a mate up the road who's in a band who dropped four triple Z's. Hot 100 last year about it, and he's doing a circuit where they're playing Coffs Harbour and Port Macquarie in New South Wales and this sort of thing. That's untapped. I don't know why more bands aren't doing this sort of thing, because what are these regional kids doing? Not much outside of how they entertain themselves, which is usually involving sport. City kids have, there's sport usually going on, the NRL or the AFL or the A-League or whatever, or Super Rugby. There's so much different things that can occupy their time, but in regional areas, and the thing is, a lot of musicians that I've met originate from regional areas and move to cities to take advantage of the commercial bonanza that cities offer people. So yeah, definitely think about that. But I mean, given that you are in your 20s and you're relatively young on that basis, have you thought about, say, relocating, going to the UK, or particularly, I think for you guys, the USA would be awesome?
No, I think I'm pretty happy in Perth. Like, I think this is home for us, but who knows what the future holds, man. I think
I feel like with like social media and like the internet and stuff, these days, you don't really need to relocate. I'm not
moving back to London. I won't do it. I can't do it.
It's a tough city, yeah.
Yeah, we'd be stoked to go play in America and
don't take me back there.
Shit,
I don't want to go.
But
I reckon hit like you were saying.
Perth's home for now.
We definitely want to get around all those and just try and tour as much as we can in the future. Like, I want to go across and do all the East Coast.
Yeah, fair enough.
Everybody going.
Yeah, I think you're just covering the microphone there, or the speaker there, so it's there you go. I can hear it. No, it's all good. I'm really taken with you guys, as you can tell. I think We Are Home is an extraordinary EP. At this point in time, though, and again, I've asked this question a few times, with COVID-19, but for you guys especially, I'd hate for this release to fall through the cracks and not be heard by people. So outside of doing podcasts and potentially some videos, can you think of anything else that's truly creative that no other bands are doing in order to spread your music at this point in time?
I don't know. It's a tough one, isn't it?
We want to record
we want to do a couple of acoustic sets. I feel like maybe even I had a little idea the other day that if we could like set up the fucking like band on a roof or something, or like somewhere nearby where just like the public could come past, that we could play out to just people and just have a little jam and cruise out that way. There's not really much else we can do, It's quite tough at the moment.
Have you thought about contacting the local Fairfax? It's not called Fairfax these days, but 9 News, whatever. I think it's the West Australian. Is it West Australian? Is that the name of the local newspaper there?
Yeah.
The News Limited one. Yeah. Okay. So the West Australian or something like that, and saying, just testing the waters. Like, because I do a lot of work with News Limited. Okay. So I have people calling in all the time on the Gold Coast Bulletin news desk here, and they tell me, oh, my mother's turning 100, or there's this dispute here involving neighbours or something. What we don't get, though, a lot of is people like yourself saying, hey, we're doing this. We can't promote our band at the moment, so this is what we're going to do. Have you thought about doing something like that where you call up a mainstream news agency and saying, like getting together, having a few bevies and something else maybe to get creative and saying, how do we actually think outside of the box here and reach a big audience? Because I think with you guys, if you reach a big audience, that's your sweet spot. Your sweet spot isn't a small audience amongst your mates. Your sweet spot is actually going a little bit bigger. I think that's where you guys, that's you want to call your cruising altitude. There you go. Your cruising altitude. So have you thought about doing something like that?
Well, I was actually in contact with a lady who's in the music industry, and she knows the musical editor for the West Australian. He took a liking to our song. I haven't heard anything back yet, but maybe that could be, maybe hit them up and see what the go is from there. I guess that would be a really good move.
Well, highly encouraged. It's just, as I say, I've said it a few times, I'm taken with your music, and the last thing I'd like to hear is that in 5 years' time or so you've disbanded and you're not doing it anymore. Because I think there's some serious potential there. And look, the commercial reality of playing music is you need to reach an audience. If you don't reach an audience, you just sort of, it doesn't happen. I can tell you there's one band that have been together that haven't had any commercial appreciation. They're called Leichhardt. They're a local Brisbane band. They're still together because they simply don't give a shit. They just do what they do. But they're also a bit older too. When you're younger, there's an expectation, I think. And when I say when you're younger, I'm 42, and if I was playing in a band, I'd want it to reach the ears of people too. If I went onto Spotify and saw that 7 people listened to my single, I wouldn't be happy. We're not creating music for creating music's sake. We're creating music to share our enjoyment of music with people. Yeah. That's crucial. That's crucial. So I just think the strength of We Are Home, these other, I can't even name, Imagine Dragons and all this bullshit. I don't even know what these bands are called these days, but I hear them and they're just crap. They're just shit. Like, they're probably nice guys, lads. They're probably nice guys. I could probably have a beer with them, and I'd apologise for saying that. But the point is, the music's awful. Yours isn't, and it needs to be heard by as many people as I think you can possibly reach out to. So I just encourage you in this period of time to think about how you could promote your music using non-conventional and non-standard methods to ensure that you got skin in the game. Because here's the tip: you guys are all going to get married and have kids at some point. Even if you say no, it won't happen now. It probably will. and then all of the wheels fall off, all everything else, because you're too busy providing for families and stuff. The trick is, yeah. Sorry,
I don't think my semen works, to be honest. I can't wait to prove you wrong.
Plenty of practice.
I think with music, man, is like a lot of these. I think a lot of my most favourite musicians died before they had the opportunity to be shit. I think the older you get, sometimes bands just lose the drive, or you're constantly going to be evolving. But we're young, horny, and hungry, and we got so much more to give and so many more songs to make. So we got some loaded guns, brother. Guns are blazing. So Sunshine Coast, watch out, because we're coming for you.
I can't go anywhere after that. I better wrap things up. That's awesome. But good on you, lads. As I say, I think you guys have done a marvellous job here. Congratulations on releasing what I feel is collectively, and here's a massive compliment, the collection of tunes released to date in 2020, an album or EP otherwise. This is my favourite release thus far, and I get a ton of music.
Thanks so much, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. I listen to so much music, but I know a good thing when I bloody hear it. It's just whether or not, we live in Australia, which is great. I wouldn't want to live anywhere else, but we're not a commercial bonanza. Europe and the US is where it's at, so I just hope people over there, most of the people that listen to this podcast come from the United States in particular. I implore them to get onto you guys. So on that note, how can they tune into your music? Obviously, you've got a Facebook presence, but how else can they tune into what you guys are doing?
YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Sunday Sundown Official.
Facebook. Yeah,
it's all under Sunday Sundown and Sunday Sundown Official. But we just it's on iTunes as well.
I think it's on all
pretty much
music platforms: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
We generally run it through Spotify. And Instagram.
Mm-hmm. All right, lads, congratulations. What I'll do is when I release it, I'll just link you in via Facebook if that's okay, if that's the way you want to do things.
Unreal.
If you want to share it, go ahead. No dramas, but no offence taken if you don't. No dramas whatsoever. But I just want to spread the word for you guys,
No, appreciate it
so much, man.
No worries, lads. All right, we'll get back to some more bevies, and no doubt we'll chat sometime in the near future during your next release.
Awesome. Thanks, brother.
Have a good one.
See you, man.
Thanks, guys. No worries. Catch ya. See ya. You've been listening to the Scars and Guitars podcast series that syndicates for the A-List Online. My name's Andrew Mackay-Smith, and the interview subjects you just heard from are from a band from Perth called Sunday Sundown, and that was Corey Fisher and Clark Scales. Thanks for listening.